welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our brand new die set, Put a Bow on It. There are 3 different sizes of bows and these bows are just too cute, so I cannot wait to show you guys these dies. So here is a quick look at the 3 different sizes of dies. I'm going to run these all through my die cut machine, and when I run them through my die cut machine, I like to run them through twice so that the little emboss line that the bow ends creates embosses really well. So now it's time to start forming these bows. And my very first thing that I like to do is curl the ends of the bow. So I take a pencil and just wrap the paper around the pencil to create this kind of curved edge to the die. And the reason that I do this is to make the bow really bouncy and big. I think they're just really pretty that way. So by kind of pre-curling these edges, you're giving that paper a chance to really stay nice and formed and create a big bouncy bow. Now here I'm going to use some liquid glue right in the center of this die cut, and then I'll take the leftmost piece and line that tab up right with that edge, just like that, and repeat that on the right side. So add some little liquid glue there, and then line this part up just like that. Now I like to take my tweezers and hold that in place there while that glue dries. Once it's dried, I can add a bunch of glue to the extended tab and then wrap that tab all the way around the bow and adhere it to the back. And this gives the center of the bow a nice finished look. Once again, I'm going to take my tweezers and hold that in place and let it dry. Now there are 2 ways to use the bow ends. You can use it extended or folded, and that little emboss line is what helps you fold it. So you can take your bow end there and just fold it right over just like that and create bow ends that can come out the bottom of the bow instead of out to the sides. I like to take some little glue and put it in between that folded part, use my tweezers once again to hold it in place so that it'll have a nice strong hold in that folded shape. To create the bow ends that go on the outside, all you need to do is put a little liquid glue and adhere them to the back of the bow just like that. And then for the bow ends that point downward, once again we can add some liquid glue and line those up with the middle of the bow just like that. Use my tweezers to hold it in place and let it dry, and you can see what a cute look that is. I love that you can get 2 looks from one die. And here is a look at all 3 sizes of Put a Bow on It in the 2 different styles of bow ends. And I just love these bows. They're so sweet. That tiny little bow is perfect for cards or even adding to stamped images, and that large one is just so awesome too. So I thought now it would be kind of fun to do something a little bit different than making a card. So I am going to make some hair bows. And I've got some felt here that I'm going to die cut with these dies, and you can just run this through your die cut machine just like normal and it will cut through felt, which is awesome. First here I'm going to work on my little turquoise bow. And so I've added some hot glue in the middle just like I did before with the liquid glue with the paper, and we're going to line up all of the ends of the bow. So now we'll add a little more hot glue and line up the right tab, and then hot glue on the middle, wrapping that tab piece all the way around and holding that in place. Next we'll add a little hot glue in the middle of the bow ends and fold those to hold it in that nice V shape. Then I'll add a little hot glue to the back of the bow and I can line all of those pieces up. And I just love how cute this bow is looking. Now I'm going to work on the purple bow, and on the purple one I'm going to have the bow ends going out side to side. So I've just added some hot glue there in the middle, and I'm going to add a little hot glue on the outer edges too, just to make sure that that bow stays really well formed and it really holds together, since this is going to be going in someone's hair. Now here are the 2 styles of bow made out of felt, and for the large bow I thought it'd be fun to put it on the edge of a bobby pin. So I'm going to take some hot glue once again and add it to the back of my bow, and then I can put that bobby pin right in. By placing the bobby pin facing down, you can kind of stick it into someone's ponytail and make it, or a bun, and make it look like the bow is sticking right on top. It's a super cute look. So I'll just place that bobby pin right into that hot glue, and it's going to hold it in place perfectly. Now I wanted to create a little finished edge to the back of the bobby pin, so I'm just going to eyeball it and cut some felt to cover the back of the bow. So I'm just kind of trimming a little piece of all of my excess here from die cutting. And then I can add some hot glue once again to the back of the bow and layer that little piece on. And this will not only give it a nice finished look, but I think it'll also fit in someone's hair just a little bit better. It just makes it just a little bit cleaner on the edge. And I think this would be such a cute little gift, or maybe fun little favors for a little girl's birthday party. Just too cute. Now I wanted to do something a little bit different with the purple bow that I created earlier, and I got one of these small alligator clips, and I just bought this at my local CVS. They have them, they're very inexpensive, and there's a bunch in a package, and I'm just going to trim a piece of the felt to cover that whole alligator clip. So I'm just going to lay the felt right on the clip and use that as a guide as to where to cut with my scissors. And then I'll add some hot glue to the top of that alligator clip so that I can line that piece of felt on the top. And this is so you get a nice seamless look. There's not metal popping out from underneath of the bow. So I'm going to line that piece up there. And then the next thing I want to do is create a little felt piece in the middle. And Rachel here at Lawnfawn headquarters gave me this idea. She has a cute little daughter, and sometimes these little alligator clips will kind of rip their hair a little bit. So by putting some felt on the inside, it'll make it nice and soft. So if a young kid kind of rips it out of their hair, it'll come out pretty easily. So I'm going to add some hot glue there and then layer another little piece of felt just to give it that nice soft edge, and honestly it makes it look really nice and professional too. Now I'm going to put a bunch of hot glue on the back of the bow, and I can layer that onto my felted alligator clip. And this whole process goes really fast, so it wouldn't be hard to make a bunch of them in fun different colors, kind of one for every day of the week. I'm sure some little girl would just absolutely love it. And so here's a look at that alligator clip and how well it works just like that. Next up, I wanted to show you how well the large size bow works with our pillow box die, and it works really well with our tote bag and goodie bag too, which I love. So I've cut a pillow box here out of some new perfectly plaid Christmas paper. I'm folding the edges here and then kind of coaxing in these rounded tabs. So I'll have my box all started to form. Next, I'm going to trim a piece of 3/8 inch red cardstock here, and that's going to be the part where it kind of looks like the bow has been tied around the box. So I'm going to adhere that right into the center of the box, and then I can start to form the box. So I'll add some tape there to that tab, and this is so easy to form because you can just fold it right over, line those up, push that down, and then we can start working on the bow. So once again, I'm running this chili pepper cardstock around a pencil to really get those bow ends really folded and nice and fluffy. And then I'm going to wrap that piece right around the bow and adhere that into place. Then I'm going to take some bow ends there in the V shape and adhere those to the back. And then I'll place a bunch of glue dots on the back of the bow, and I can adhere that to the pillow box. And by using that strip of cardstock, it almost looks like the cardstock has been tied around the pillow box to create this bow. I think it's such a cool look. And then this is sized perfectly for a gift card, so you can throw a gift card in, and this is a nice, quick, and really cute way to present a package for someone during the holidays. I just love it. That big bow is just too cute. Now next I wanted to show you a really fun way to use the mini bow in this set, and that is to create the look of twine with the bow. So right here I'm just going to go through my same process, rolling my little edges around my bow here, and this time I'm going to use glue dots actually to adhere everything, which is a nice quick way to form these bows. It's even faster than using liquid glue. So I'm putting glue dots where I would have put the liquid glue before earlier in the video to hold those two edges down, and then a glue dot in that extended tab there, which I can then wrap all the way around the bow to give it a nice finished look and adhere that tab end to the back of the bow. And then here I've got some pattern paper that doesn't have a pattern on the other side. So what I've done is I've cut two bow ends, and I'm actually going to glue those two together to give a pattern on both sides. So just like that, just takes a second, glue those two pieces together, and now you have a pattern on either side. And so you can form this into the V shape of the bow ends now. So I'm going to just bend that right at that embossed end, and now I've got pattern paper on both sides of that little bow end. I'll add a glue dot in between there to hold those bow ends down, and then another glue dot on the edge of the bow, just like that, so I can line them up. So here I wanted to show you a card that I had already made with twine, and I am going to just rip that twine right off and line up a 1/8 inch strip of pattern paper. I'm going to put a glue dot down, and now I can put that little tiny bow right on there, and it gives a similar look to the twine that I had used before, but instead with die cut. So it's kind of a cool way when you're deciding, you can decide between twine or a die cut bow. And so here's a look at both, and I really like both looks. They're both really cool, and it kind of just depends on what type of card that you're thinking of doing. But by putting that 1/8 strip of cardstock, it really gives that continuous look, just like we did on the pillow box too. So I love that there's so much that you can do with these dies, from hair bows to decorating cards to creating cool gift packaging, and I'm sure there's even so much more that you guys will think of. So I cannot wait to see your awesome bows, so make sure to share them with us. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!